Welcome to the latest episode of the Closer's Corner podcast. My name is Greg Simpson. I am your host, and today I have my business partner, Matt Kelsey, in the house today.
Welcome
to
the
show.
Invite. Ready to go.
Yeah, baby. So, Matt, I want to talk to the listeners and the watchers of the pod today a little bit about your history and how you got kind of started in real estate, how we met, and all that fun stuff. So I'll let you tell the story, though.
Okay, so start off with real estate. So got out of school in 2012, was in the general real estate world for a short 2 months. I learned the way to go is to be on the home builder side. So joined with the best home builder in Tampa Bay, Homes by West Bay. Became the top sales rep after some hard work over a few years. Became the top salesperson in all of Tampa Bay. My best year I did right under 40 million in closings with West Bay. Saved up my money, started investing it in real estate, doing private lending and fix and flipping. And I wanted to find somebody that had an intimate knowledge of flipping, wanted to expand their business, wanted to grow, and I could keep selling new homes and keep producing income. And who would know, later on we would form a formal partnership and form a whole business out of that, which is another crazy story we'll get into. But that's how it went. So I met with Greg, and Greg was already flipping a bunch of houses, but wanted to grow what he was doing, and we were a perfect fit from there. Yeah. So you can tell that story, Greg.
Sure. I mean, we met while you were a building guy, right? Like way back when. Not like why is it doing that over there? Not when we started partnering up. We met at I think in North Tampa a meeting at IHOP, right?
Yeah, so to say that, yeah, I met Greg at a TB-RIA event probably 6 years ago, right when I just started making some money off of selling new homes. Probably had sold my first 5 or 10 homes when I met Greg, and I wanted to get into investing, so I met him way back then.
And then one day I get did you text me or did you get I get a Facebook message or something? I forget how you reached out to me.
Yeah, I messaged you when I saw some post you had made on a house flip, and I messaged you.
Yeah. And so obviously I remembered you from TB-RIA days, but it had been a pretty good long gap since we had seen each other. Kind of the power of social media, obviously. And so Matt, you wanted to meet for coffee. We met at Blind Tiger in Ybor, because it was close to I think where you were living at the time, and not far from me. So we met there. And not only did you decide to become a private lender and that, you told me what you were kind of wanted to do, but I also gave you some pretty good life advice that it was really funny. I don't tell that story very often, but Matt's coming to me. I don't know if you want to tell that story.
We'll just for the podcast, we'll throw it on. Why not? So Greg asked me if I was dating anybody. I told him sort of, which was the truth. I had a girl I was on and off with. And anyways, he said, if it isn't the one that you're going to marry, just get rid of her. I said, okay. I said, that's not what I expected to talk about this meeting, but that's how he literally led off the meeting. And I think it was literally like a few months later.
Yeah. Again, I don't sugarcoat shit.
Yeah, she was gone. So anyway.
So it was like the next time. So like about a month or two later, I remember you saying, so I finally took your advice because we were talking obviously throughout our first couple of deals and stuff, and you're like, Greg, I whacked her or whatever you said. I don't remember what it wasn't that maybe. You're like, she's done. I was like, oh. He's like, I took your advice, and she wasn't the one, so I moved on. I was like, all right.
Yeah, not to get too far ahead, I finally met the one.
Yes, you have.
Still my girlfriend, nothing formal yet, but
I have different advice for that one, okay?
She's amazing. We need to keep her around.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyways, yeah, at the coffee meeting with Greg, I had an idea on what I had liquid in cash. I want to do the first investment in actual cash onto something because it's obviously lower risk. So with the first one, with an outside partner, I said, hey, Greg, I'm looking for this exact deal, something in this range. If you find something, I'll send the funds the next day. And Greg literally called me 3 days later with the perfect deal. I think it was even slightly better than what I said. And so we funded that one. It went really well. How long did your rehab take on that one?
6 days.
Yeah, he was done with the rehab in 5 or 6 days on a lipstick flip. We made a good return, and then
I want more of those, man. What happened to those?
They're gone. They're gone.
They're gone.
They're gone. See ya. And then we went from 1 deal to 2 deals, from 2 deals to 4 deals, from 4 deals to 8 deals. I think we had like 8 or 9 going between just us at a time. And that's what leads us into the next step of this.
Yeah, so like we We did it, as we started scaling on the rehabs. We were like you said, you were doing one or two smaller deals. Like I think the first one we bought was like 85,000, and we put like eight grand I think tops into that house, or it was actually a townhouse, and sold it lickety split. And then we bought that complete dumpster fire of a house on Frierson.
Yeah, I
bought
remember
it for
that one.
65 grand.
Yep.
And then we put more than what we paid for the house and renovations into
Yep.
that thing. But we sold that for a hell of a profit too, way better than I ever, higher than I expected. And then it was like, oh shit, let's go. And so then it was like time to start scaling. We then, just like you said, we went to 4, and then all of a sudden we started borrowing some hard money.
Yep.
And so we could scale. So we were taking some of the returns that you got, some of the capital that you had, and then just spreading out over multiple deals. And that's what really kind of got us when we were doing 8 deals at a time, and it was just like craziness at that point.
100%. Yeah, it got a little crazy, and
Our spreadsheet was like a freaking disaster.
Yeah.
We got it figured out, but it was, geez, it was
we're
a mess.
making a bunch of money, so it was all good. But yes, I mean, I had a lot of personal capital into real estate, more than I'm obviously used to.
Yep.
I'm more of a buy and hold type of person by nature, to be honest. But anyways,
I'm there now, buddy. I'm there now.
So it's all good. I mean, it went super well. We had so many deals going, and what's interesting and how this all started is people would just hear that we were flipping some homes, and people were coming to myself or Greg. And I'm really speaking from my own experience, but I know this happens to Greg all the time too. I'd have people come to me every week and say, "Hey, they were just like telling me random amounts of money they wanted to give me. They're like, I want to give you 30 grand to do a deal with. I'm like, first off, I can't do anything with your 30 grand in one deal. Second off, I'm not taking your money. I'm not putting your money into one deal. So I said no to like, I don't know, 35 to 50 people on that because I didn't have a good vehicle for them.
No, I didn't either. Yeah. I've had people, I mean, again, I run TB RIA, right? And I've had people who walk up to me and say, hey, I got 25, I got 30. Even 50 is like really tough to do anything with. Even back, I mean, again, I've been doing this for 9 years. Even going back like 7 years ago, 50 grand is maybe enough to do a small gap fund on a hard money deal. And if that, all your life savings is in one deal.
On the gap.
On the gap, a second position where the hard money lender is in first position, that is just, in my opinion, it's very risky. And I'm the one on the hook because I'm the one that has never promised anyone money because I can't do that and I would never do that. But I don't sleep well because of the fact that I know that's all they've got is tied into one deal.
Yeah.
Scares the shit out of me.
I think that's why you felt okay with me. You're like, I told you. Even when we first started, I told Greg, I was like, hey, if we lose money, like, it's okay.
Let's talk about that because I remember I don't like to lose. I'm a competitive person, type A, so are you.
Yeah.
But we had a deal and it was right. We listed it literally as COVID hit.
Yeah.
2 years ago, almost 2 years ago.
I remember the house. It was by Lowry Park.
Yeah, it was on Edison.
Yep.
And we listed it right as COVID hit, and it just destroyed everything because that was back before the boom after COVID happened.
There was a freeze for like 60 days, and prices were
pretty
declining
much.
for about
It
60
declined.
days and no activity.
No activity.
I was still in home building during that.
Yeah.
Our models were dead.
Yeah.
I was meeting people that had some very interesting situations that wanted to buy houses. Let me just say that. The other people weren't out looking. It was it was interesting.
Yeah, so I remember we had the house on Clark that we had, and we were like pretty much closing them within a week of each other. Clark closed first, or was going to close first, and Edison was going to close second. And so as I'm doing our final numbers, I call Matt, and I'm like, I didn't want to make the phone call because I don't like to tell people bad news. And so I was like, hey man, I got good news and I got bad news. I'm like, which one do you want first? You know, everyone does that, right? He's like, give me the good news first. I go, well, Clark, we're making a bunch of money. We're making like 40 grand or whatever on that one. I go, what's the bad news? I mean, we're going to lose on Edison. He goes, what are we losing, 10, 15 grand? I go, no, man, we're losing 2,500. He goes, oh, fuck it, whatever, man, who cares?
Yeah, if the loss
well,
is
$2,500 is still, still an L. It goes on my sheet. I'm now not the 1972 Dolphins anymore.
You're not undefeated.
No, I'm not undefeated.
I mean, honestly, that's a good thing. I had somebody that came to invest with us at Deployed recently, and like their first question to me was, have you ever lost a lot of money? I'm like, I don't think I've really ever lost a lot of money. I've lost some money on different investments, obviously. If people you see online, honestly, that are like, oh, I never lost, I make all this money, they're full of shit. Don't give them any money. But anyways, I said, no, I don't feel like I've ever lost any crazy amount of capital, but yeah, I've had deals that I haven't made money on. Overall, way up. They actually were like, oh, we'll wait till you lose a bunch of money one day. I'm like, I don't think it's going to happen, but hey, who knows? And then we'll invest it. I'm like, all right,
Interesting.
whatever. Yeah, everyone's different.
Yeah, I would say I haven't lost money other than that deal on real estate transactions. I have lost deals that I didn't buy.
Right.
Because either I didn't have the funding or I didn't have the confidence in the deal, and then someone else bought it, and then I follow up and I see that they made a bunch of freaking money on it, and that's where I've lost money.
Opportunity.
I lost opportunity. The opportunity costs have crushed me sometimes because either, well, we'll get into that in a minute, but like either my private lenders were tapped out or like I just didn't have enough confidence to even bring it to a private lender because it was a pretty risky deal.
Yeah.
And then someone else took the risk and just crushed it. And I'm just like, I kick myself in the pants for those all the time. But again, I want to keep my investors' money safe.
Yep. No risk, no bag, Greg.
That's right. It's very true. But I
know,
definitely got more risk averse as we've gone on in this because, again, people want to see us take risks. We have to sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But yeah, so that did lead us down. We were all of a sudden, we had all these people reaching out to us because I'm very active on social. You started, you know, you started getting involved in the social media aspect of it and being in some of the videos and talking about it. And yeah, we had people reaching out to us, but in that respect, we couldn't take their money. It's not enough. Right. And there's no way to structure it to where they're safe. So I remember me, you, and Jeremy all sat down at Bar Taco and we're like, how do we open up a fund? How do we do this the legit, legal way? Because so many people do this super illegal, super wrong.
Hey, and it's all good until they get audited by somebody, and then it isn't good.
Or a deal goes south, and all of a sudden some lawyers are getting involved.
Yep.
And I have never done it anything other than by the book when it comes to borrowing money from people.
Yep.
And so we wanted to take it to the even more legit level. And so let's talk a little bit about how we kind of started Deployed Capital Group and Alpha Fund.
Yeah, so after multiple meetings between Greg, Jeremy, and myself, and one other partner who is no longer involved, that's just how businesses go sometimes, to be honest with you. But we've got to tell the whole story here, Greg.
Yep.
Maybe not all the details.
No, we're not going to go all the details because we could be here for 6 hours.
So we actually explored all the possible options on what type of fund to open up, how do we structure it on a preferred return level versus a waterfall, how do we use the capital, you know, how soon does our pref pay, how does a buyout look if an investor has to leave the fund for whatever reason. After a lot of work with attorneys and other individuals.
Bad attorneys too.
Yeah, we had one bad attorney we had to fire, and then we got a good one. Yeah, it's just the name of the game, right? So anyways, after a lot of work, we got Deployed Capital Group off of the ground. Super exciting, a lot of work. I originally started as an investor, but the fourth partner we had, I had to step into the role of fund manager, which actually has been really good.
It's been fun.
So our returns have been really nice this year.
Yes.
So I'd say I'm doing a great job.
I would agree. Again, we can't talk returns on the pod.
Yeah.
If we don't have the ability to do certain things with that fund, so we're not going to cross that line. We do not want to. We have something big going on with SEC right now, is in good things, so we don't want to disturb the momentum we have and the good graces that we have with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the cool thing is like it is a fully regulated SEC approved 506B fund. Like you can look us up on edgar.gov or whatever it is, and you can see Deployed or Alpha Fund and see that it's a legit registered fund.
Yep. So it's great. We decided to go with a 506B, which just means you're really raising money from people you've met or know or have contacts with. But yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, I don't want to say too much more because, like Greg said, it's not a public thing; it's more of a private thing. But yeah, that's been awesome.
The one really awesome thing that we could talk about, we haven't even posted about this on social, even though we can, is that we did. Was it sometime in late Q4 last year? We finally hit the $1 million mark of funds raised.
Yes, we crossed the $1 million of actual investor capital raise, in our AUM, which is assets under management, is significantly higher than that because we have some strategic investments in places like Tulum, Mexico, where our value has skyrocketed off the charts. Looks like a crypto chart.
Yeah.
So that one's going
and that's
really
one of
well.
the cool part about Tulum is that because we are an operating partner with Rick Malero over at his capital, we can actually advertise that you as in watching or listening can invest in the Tulum project with us, with Rick and his capital. So if you have been following us at all and watch this podcast or listen to it, and you are interested in investing in Tulum, Mexico, the returns are pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, just message us Tulum and we can talk.
Yeah, we can talk about it. We can send you our calendars and we can talk about the awesome opportunity in Tulum. But yeah, so, we structured Deployed as the legit reason to do it, and we did it as a debt fund. Again, we can't go into details on that, but like it has allowed us to do our deals, provide a great return for investors, and do it legal. And it's been an interesting and fun ride because we're going to be celebrating 2 years technically because we also launched that as COVID. I remember literally got the final thing from like the attorney or from the SEC that they received our stuff or whatever it was, and it was like March 4th of 2020.
Yep.
And like a week later, the lockdown started, and it was just like, oh, it's such a freaking mess.
And that's when you see all the articles about, oh, COVID is killing all these businesses, everybody's shutting down, all this, and
we had investors want to pull their money out like right away. And
we did. We had about half of our investors that were ready to pull their money out just because they were scared.
Yeah, we were all scared.
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. We knew we'd figure it out. And if the market went in some kind of downturn, I let them all know we're probably going to make more money.
Oh, we would have, for sure.
We would have made more money if it downturned. But anyways, everything is good with that. We're super excited. We're about to cross the 2-year mark, and most businesses fail in the first year. So once you cross that path, you're pretty much up from there as long as you keep to your processes and systems.
Absolutely.
It works out.
So now we've evolved from doing just hard money lending out of Deployed Capital Group, private money lending, your traditional fix and flip deals. We partnered with another big lending arm, Peer Street. So we can offer lots of different products. If you want to talk about that for like a minute or two, what kind of the products we have for Deployed.
Yeah, so we have bridge options, which are basically in the hard money world, your short term, anywhere from 6-month note to 24-month notes on fix and flip, where if you have great credit and experience, we can fund 90% of the purchase and 100% of the rehab. If you have no experience but good credit, we can still fund 75 to 80% of the purchase and 100% of your rehab. And we're trying to keep the points on these deals under 3 points, which if you're a first-time flipper and you see our interest rates and those points, nobody's touching us. Good luck. You can go find some stuff on the internet you think is greater of some people that you don't know that you're calling into, and you hope it's going to work out. Good luck. Yep. I would say you call us. It's probably a better idea.
I would agree.
We close.
Been there, borrowed it. It is a much better, simpler, easier deal, too.
Yep. We also have a 30-year note where you can use it to refinance properties in an entity name or to cash out refi or to pay off notes that are in your personal name and transition them into a business entity as well. If you bought a home in your personal name on some type of flip or something short term, or you just for whatever reasons for legal protection want to put it in an entity, we can refi you into an entity, and our rates are pretty comparable with bank rates. They're like 0.25, 0.35 higher.
Yep.
So it's not
and you get the benefit of the LLC, which the bank won't do.
Right. And I see a lot of traditional mortgage lenders out there advising people to take loans in their personal name and basically quit claim the title to their LLC, which actually can trigger a due on sale clause. So do not do that out there. That is bad legal advice, and it's actually illegal to do that. So if you have plans to close on a home in your name and put it into an LLC, just start it off with closing in an LLC.
Yep.
You have less risk that way, and you're doing it properly.
And we are not tax advice professionals.
We're not tax advice professionals
or attorneys or anything like that.
We're none of that. Yeah, but don't buy a house in your personal name and quit claim it to an LLC. I can tell you right now that's
the
illegal.
Banks don't like that.
No.
But anyway, so that leads to we've been doing this for almost 2 years and deployed capital on the traditional side. All while you were still working for West Bay. Being our fund manager, working crazy hours there, working hours here. So thank you, sir, for going the extra mile. But we have now pivoted to also into a different realm with deployed capital
We are opening Deployed Capital Mortgage. So I'm sure this podcast was recorded a couple weeks before you're hearing it. But after a lot of fun back and forth with the state of Florida and a couple more gray hairs, we got our company approved. So we're super excited. We have every loan in-house. We have conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, non-QM products, which are just products that don't fit the box for people that are self-employed or they're using their bank statements to get loans. We have everything in one house. So if you call us, either through Deployed Capital Group or Deployed Capital Mortgage. If it's a deal, I can get you a loan. It's that simple.
And
everything in-house.
Again, this is we just got. We could talk about it, but it hasn't closed. We're not going to talk about that. But like, you just got a conditional approval on a refinance in 3 days.
Yeah, 2.5 days on our first loan that we submitted. 2.5 days.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
We got 14 apps in week 1.
14 apps week 1. First one we put in with one of our broker partners, 2.5 days.
Yep.
And that's all I have to say. I'm shocked.
Yeah, and it's 80% cash out refi. Crazy.
80% cash out refi.
We will not talk terms because I can't talk terms.
Yeah, 80% cash out refi. It's about all we'll say. Great interest rate, great terms, great borrower, but man, that's crazy. Nobody's doing that. So we're excited. We have a processor in-house. In our office. It's Maria. You might meet Maria. She's amazing. We were glad to take her from the traditional banking world and bring her
into her eyes to the
startup crazy world, but it's all good. So the thing with us that's different is you have local people on the ground that have a vested interest in doing business with you today and tomorrow and the rest of the year. And I'll even say in Deployed Capital Group, one of our borrowers has done like 8 loans with us already.
I know.
So they're not doing
any
loans with us.
He submitted 3 more apps like this week or something like that.
Yeah, they did 3 more apps this week. I don't know, he might be at 11. But anyways, nobody's doing 8 loans with you in a 3-month period unless you're doing a really good job or you have something different than what's on the market. And I feel we have both. So give us a call. If you have a real estate purchase, personal name, entity name, we can finance it.
Yeah, we got you covered. Like,
we can cash you out.
And it kind of goes back to this vision that Jeremy and I had when we first started the brokerage side is while we technically are not owners of the mortgage company, we have always wanted to have, the brokerage, the property management, the hard money, and now we wanted to have a traditional mortgage lender in-house.
It's even have an architecture office.
His wife is an architect. We basically don't have title and insurance, but we have obviously great contacts for that. So
we love our title and insurance partners. We don't want to do those businesses. We haven't done our hands
not with
in
what we've got going on now. So
you guys got it covered. We love you all.
Yeah,
you know
you
who
guys
you
do
are.
what you do best. We're gonna do what we do best.
Yep.
So, but let's talk really quick before we get off and cut the pod. What was it that appealed to you about doing the traditional mortgage, man? Okay. I know it's like you love it. You love this shit, and I find it very fascinating. But like I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know enough, but I know you do. So talk about it.
I have fun with it. It's like a game to me. I'm solving a puzzle. I mean, the investment stuff and the hard money stuff is exciting to me, but at the end of the day, what I'm doing there is facilitating a transaction for somebody that's going to buy the house regardless some way. So it's not that I don't like it. I love it, but the traditional stuff gets me more excited because I'm helping people get into a home. They're looking at their payments, their budget, this, that, and I can actually help somebody do something that's going to financially benefit them from a regular person perspective. So I love that. That's why I was in new homes. And the reason I sold so many homes in new homes, I was averaging well over 100 a year every year in new home sales. And the reason I sold so many homes, I understood financing. So before the people that I was meeting as potential buyers of my product, before they would ever call the lender, I'd run their debt-to-income ratios. I'd run their scenario. I'd get them set up for success on the loan. By the time they already called the lender, I already had them basically pre-approved.
Wow.
As long as they knew around what their credit scores, I could have told them if they were getting a loan or not.
Yep.
So that's how I sold so many homes. So I've already, not that I've been doing loans, right, in traditional sense, but I've already been looking at people's scenarios from the seller perspective and getting them ready to go on a house purchase. So doing traditional mortgage is a natural fit for me.
Yeah, I love it.
So, this is the first thing I've done with us that is a pure natural fit, something I've already been doing for a long time.
And last but not least, you actually are not doing new home sales. You are.
I'm retired. I am retired. I am full-time self-employed. Thank you, Greg and Jeremy, for helping me do that. It's been a goal of mine for a long time to get to where
officially the entrepreneur.
Yeah, to get to where I was financially independent enough that I didn't need the next check to pay the bills or whatever. Like I'm basically retired. I'm doing this because it's fun and I like helping people.
Yep.
I don't have to do it. I'm doing it because it's fun.
I love it. All right, so Matt, tell everyone how they can get a hold of Deployed Capital if they are looking for a loan in any way, shape, or form.
So if you're looking for something that's going to be financed in an entity name, deployedcapitalgroup.com, apply. If you are looking for something that's going to be financed in a personal name, deployedcapitalmortgage.com, go apply.
Yep.
Super simple. You can reach out to me on social for help on setting up your deal. I am helping people do that for the next 90 days as all our people get trained, systemized, optimized. but our processes are super simple to go through. We have a processor in-house. We have multiple loan originators. We are here to do a bunch of business. And I'm going to tell everybody right now, Greg, in the mortgage world in Tampa, nobody has hard money and traditional money under one roof and is doing it at the capacity that we can do it.
I know.
So when you start seeing our name on a bunch of loans, do not be surprised because we have the best rates in the market because I can go shop from 50 different lenders. You're not calling one bank to get a loan.
Right.
I can go shop you with anybody out there. So it's a whole different ballgame.
It is.
And we're setting up an ecosystem that's going to be way different than what anybody has out there.
I agree.
It's going to be a game changer.
It is going to be a game changer. So, Matt, thank you for coming on the show. Thanks for being an awesome partner and buying into the vision that Jeremy and I've had for the last 5 years. And cheers.
Yes, cheers to that. Have a great day,
guys enjoyed what Matt had to say and got some great information about it. Make sure that you are subscribing to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, pretty much everywhere you listen to a podcast. Make sure you give us a good rating and a review, and comment on anything that you see on YouTube, and we'll be happy to answer any questions. You can always DM me on Instagram at RealGregSimpson, at OutFastRealty, and you can text Matt at Deployed Capital Group. I think it is, right?
Yeah, Instagram, at Deployed Capital Group. Go follow the page. Message us on there. We're excited. We had a loan app yesterday from our Instagram page.
Really?
Which to me was super cool. And their
Works,
loan's
baby.
already in process and getting going. So we're
Awesome.
ready to fire off.
All right, guys. So we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Closest Corner podcast. Have a great week, everybody.
See you guys. Have a good